quickly change our focus to S&P. They've just come out with news this afternoon that they've affirmed South Africa's rating. And joining us now on the line is S&P's primary analyst, that's Ravi Bhatia. Ravi, thank you so much for making the time to join us on Business This Week. Just give us an indication of the key concerns that S&P has going forward regarding South Africa's affirmation, which could lead us to a downgrade.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, I think at the core of the problem is the growth story. We saw a terrible year of growth last year with the strikes in the platinum sector and then in the automotive parts as well. And the back end of last year and the start of this year, we're seeing the electricity shortages pull down growth again. So, I mean, the year before that, we had the Marikana issue. So we've had basically industrial tension and low growth, and that's sort of at the core of our concerns. On the flip side, there's been, the fall in the global oil price has had some impact on the current account deficits, and we're seeing a slight narrowing of the current account deficit, and South Africa relies on a lot of portfolio flows to finance it, and so narrowing is good in that regard. There's less need for foreign portfolio financing when the deficit is lower.
Ravi, we've been talking earlier about economics and companies in terms of the football leagues. Let's talk about ratings agencies and analysts like yourself and your company talking about yellow cards and red cards. I think a lot of yellow cards have been shown to South Africa if the electricity isn't sorted out, if things aren't done to improve the growth. When does it become the red card?
Well, I mean, actually, this time last year we had a downgrade of South Africa, and then we had one even earlier in 2012. So the trajectory has been downwards, and from being sort of in the middle of, a fairly decent investment grade rating, we're now at the cusp of non-investment grade. So there have been a few red cards, but today we've basically kept the outlook at stable. So essentially, what we're saying is, we affirm the rating, the foreign currency rating at BBB- stable, and we factored in these factors. There's a little bit of positive news, but an amount of downside news in terms of the growth story, which is really unsustainable given the level of unemployment in the country. But one point I haven't mentioned is that the fiscal has sort of held up. The tax increases have helped. Last year also there was revenue buoyancy which kicked in, and the Treasury has kept a fairly hard line on expenditures, and the wage deal was broadly in line with expectations.
Ravi, thank you so much for that, bringing us, of course, fresh insights on the back of those news that broke just late this afternoon. Ravi is S&P's primary analyst, and that's Ravi Bhatia. A very big thank you to him.